You're all welcome back to the Maroon White Pod, and we took a little career break there for a couple of weeks, so I missed my friend for a little while. You had a busy weekend?
I had a busy week. I'm sure you to keep up to date with things. We had a great win in the camogie in our school in St. Raphael's.
Brilliant.
Fantastic win in the Senior B. Considering the girls last year went on and won the Junior C All Ireland, so I think it's very fitting that we moved up the ranks.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Regarding grading, yeah. So it was a fantastic game below in Abbey Leaks in Laois, and the girls just dug deep and pulled it out for a finish.
Yeah, you've a great cohort now at this moment in time.
Yeah.
And one thing is with the schools, I find that it comes in waves. You'll be either doing absolutely brilliant, or you might be coasting for a few years.
Yeah, and it's like being on the rotary belt, isn't it? You get a blast of good players in, or a blast of players that you can work with, and then it's a feast or a famine in schools.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and you're
going well though now. Yeah, but you were struggling in A, so you moved down to B, and now fair play.
And yeah, exactly.
Now move up out of the way again.
We're up now in Senior A, and I hopefully will be able to remain there for a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, at the end of the day, schools will be giving out or complaining, that they're not in the right grades, but at the end of the day, where everyone should be is in A. Well, that's where you
want to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you know what? I have to say well done to Mercy Ross as well, who beat St. Mary's of Marrowfelt. And they had a brilliant win, like comprehensive.
Comprehensive win.
It just shows the work that's been done in the schools in Roscommon now and in Connacht. And a big hard look to Calisanctious, who got beaten in the junior.
They did, and I was actually at that game.
There's only a goal in it for a finish,
a finish. Very physical game. Ref let a lot go. And Hospital just saw it through for a finish. One or two players just stood out. But shout out again to all the coaches
and the teachers,
and Hardiman and Katrina Hennessy there in Calisanctious, who are working tirelessly with those girls. And I just want to congrats John Hardiman and Tara Healy as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In St. Raphael's for all the work that they're doing as well, and Teresa Hessian and Martin McManus
in Roscommon.
Yeah,
there's great work being done in the schools, and look at again, we're only on here to promote the game, and whether it's school, club, county, it's all about the women and getting them out there.
Absolutely.
So fair play. So I'm going to have to listen to you for another one. So
you probably do, yeah. But look, it's coming to an end.
I'm only joking. Well done to everybody in the school, and you know what? Isn't it mighty for the profile of the school? And come success, will bring more players wanting to play
and more interest. Yeah. And isn't that what you want? You want all your players playing all of the time.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's good for schools, and they're the friends that you hang around with every day, and they're coming from all different clubs.
Oh, that's for sure.
But anyhow, tonight we have
a past pupil
of St. Raphael's with us, Imelda Hobbins. And Imelda, as you all know, you're all familiar with her as an analyst in Galway Bay, and she's going to be joining us in approximately a minute or two time to talk all things camogie. Exactly, yeah.
And I suppose
great captain.
Brilliant captain in 96, but there isn't, I don't think there's a lot Imelda hasn't won between junior, like county, All Ireland.
Absolutely, she's all the
schools, seniors, her own club with
Mulla, very successful in the 90s.
And isn't it great that Mulla, they've great captains. Herself and Sarah Dervin from Mulla, they're flying the flag nicely for them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Along with Lorraine Ryan, but I know Lorraine's not from Mulla, obviously, but Glymer Daly. But it's great to imagine to have two captains from the one parish that won.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not like we've loads of medals to hand out, and it's great that the two of the girls from Mulla.
Yeah, exactly.
So well done to them.
So well done. So if Imelda's with us, and
is Imelda on?
Hello there, ladies. How are you?
Oh, hi, Imelda. How are you?
Imelda, we can't see you, or are you a figment? Where are you?
Oh, hold on a second.
That's no problem.
We were just saying how great you are.
You're shying us now in your old age.
I'm getting on great. Thank you.
And we're very, very thankful to you, Imelda. I know you have a busy schedule, as is all, but just to give us that few minutes of your time to join us tonight on the Maroon White.
Not at all.
Sure, look, at the end of the day, isn't that what we're all about, trying to promote the game? And you're a wonderful advocate there, yourself and Tommy. Every weekend there's games on, doing your analysis and, keeping all the people who are not at games in tune. So when myself and Aoife were asked to do this is what we said we'd do the exact same.
We wanted to be the new Imelda.
Oh, the new Imelda.
You're very welcoming. Anytime.
Imelda, if you've seen it, I know, we're like we're like
Ah,
Dumb
we're
and
like
Dumber.
Thelma and
No,
Louise.
we are like
Yeah.
every week. Like it's just how do we not know how to log on, turn it on, and we go down a different route, and we still can't. And poor old Paul is waiting at the end of the phone for the verification code, and we haven't even clicked in. So it was funny here, but we give the lads time off, the technical team,
the technical
and they
team.
haven't come back.
Yeah, we get too many coffees and they haven't come back to us, Imelda. Aoife was just introducing you there before you came online, and you know you have an interesting profile.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about you've won basically all the accolades that there is to be won. Bar, I don't know if maybe I'm wrong. Bar Fela, that's bringing us way back, Imelda.
Bar Fela.
But
Hobbs, she's making you sound very old.
Well,
she's met for the.
I'm not
You
making
were
her
met.
sound
You're
very
met for.
old.
I'm definitely beginning to feel it.
Oh God, no, you're not. You know, if we start back, we were just talking about St. Raphael's, Imelda, and the great win that they had at the weekend, and we were saying how fitting to have you on, being a past pupil of Raphael's and winning 2 schools titles with them as well. Can you remember them?
Yeah, I do. I think I have 5 of the All Irelands or
Fantastic.
4
So
of the All Irelands. Yeah.
She took 3 off it.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah.
Was that the great Sir Farrell was over you then, Imelda, was it?
Exactly.
And
yeah.
Sister Catherine.
It was. Yeah.
And Catherine can't see
It
now.
was. And we had junior as well. I think we won junior. We won junior and senior on the one day, I remember.
Yes.
And I think 4 of us had to play played at both games.
Oh my God. And I think that
God
is my
almighty
memory
now,
serves me
lads.
right. I was actually looking at the pictures at school today. 1988, you won a junior and a senior.
Yeah.
1988 was a junior and senior. There you go.
Yeah. And you
Johnny
scored.
Fahey and Trina Dolphin from Mullya were there as well.
Yes. You scored 2 goals in it. You were playing FCJ Bunclody. Now for you.
Oh, you've your
That's
homework.
it. Now, there you go. Yeah,
done.
Bunclody would have been one of the big teams that time.
Yeah.
Now Harkin, so there would have been Bunclody would have been one of the big teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Galway used to travel the country in a yellow bus that Sister Catherine, Lord Mercy, used to drive us around.
Yeah.
Great days. Yeah, great days. I hope there's a photo over there somewhere in the school.
There is, Imelda, there's a fantastic, you know, the school are brilliant for showcasing. There's a big, massive frame, and the eight All Irelands and the 8 teams are there. I'll actually take a picture of it sometime and send it on to you. And there's a team now, or a school, Imelda, in Kilkenny, Loretta Kilkenny, who are able to tell me that they have now passed out St. Raphael's.
Okay.
Last weekend they won their 9th Senior A title.
Oh, there you go. That was it.
In a row.
We had 8.
The beginning of schools, yes, and St. Raphael's had 8.
Yeah.
Now, they weren't trying to rub it in my
8.
face. They were just saying they had always aspired to either matching St. Raphael's and Loughrea or being better. So they won their 9th at the weekend, and you know it's fantastic to win the 8th, but it's even better to win 9.
But I have a feeling that Raphael's, they're coming so good with the clubs that are feeding into them. You know, with Shamrocks, they're winning titles, and I'd say it won't be too long till they have an 8 title. You know what I mean? But it just shows the work that's going on.
And I think Raphael's was 8 in a row, though. Is Loretta in a row?
They haven't done that now.
That takes some going.
Yeah, they've won 8, but Loretta obviously have won 9, but not in a
and it's crazy to think it wasn't won since then, isn't it? Like, you know,
32 years.
You know what? It's
Well,
I suppose Bridget's were successful, you know, and then Praise, you know, with Galway schools that kind of came, but
and Kinvara, Seamount and Kinvara as well.
But we probably didn't get enough for the camogie players we had around. We probably didn't get enough in the schools. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of that, I suppose, is down to their break. They break off into different branches.
I remember even in our time in Raphael's. Yeah, in our time now in Raphael's, say when that team, say the players over those years, a lot of that was your backbone of your senior teams.
Yes,
playing for Galway.
Absolutely.
Because you had you fed into your clubs as well. You know, you were obviously doing your training at that level, if you like, and then of course you had Cyril Farrell with us, so he brought it up obviously a few gears as well. And then you brought that, I suppose, into your clubs, and then you brought it into the county scene. So it all feeds in, you see, when you have, and that's why it's probably so important. And look at Martina, I'm sure you were very involved in this
Oh, I
team, and
was very
it's
much
brilliant. I
involved.
was so
Yeah.
excited when I heard it. So excited for them when I
That's
heard
great.
it.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Great
great.
it's
involved schools.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Oh, it's
absolutely
super. Yeah.
great. And, I'm going to quote you, Imelda. You probably don't remember saying this, but of course you do, because I remember the bond, the word bond was one of your favorite words when it came to 96, that the bond with the players and the
Yeah.
friendships that we forged,
Mm,
because no matter where we
yeah.
go, 25, 26 years later,
Mm,
the gap is never that big when it comes to having the chat and
Mm.
catching up. And I think it's the same in schools. It's the friendships and the bonds that makes the team. And, together
definitely.
everyone achieves more, definitely. But look at enough about the
Definitely. Yeah.
schools. It's a memory and it's something that you'll treasure, and not everyone has in All Ireland
Yeah. Unbelievable.
schools medals. So it's something to be very proud about. I suppose the reason.
Does she remember her? I presume you remember. You couldn't forget it. Our famous calendars that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
When we won that, we
Oh,
had to
yeah.
surely
I
someone
remember them.
still has one.
I
Right?
have one. I
Somewhere.
still have it, and
I
we had a
have
laugh
one.
about it. Yeah, we had a
I
laugh
think
about
Dad
it.
has
I
it. He
have
used
it.
to keep all my memorabilia, we call it.
I think
That
before.
that funded our holiday, didn't it?
It
It did.
absolutely did, yeah. And we had to all come in with about
Yeah,
500
that funded.
500.
pounds at the time. I remember going to door begging people to buy calendars, and they were saying, "Are you going to be
Yeah,
in it?" And I
we all
said, "Yeah,
did it.
in Miss September." So just for that alone, they were
Oh,
buying
shit.
it.
They didn't care about any other month at all.
But you know what? They were good times and innocent times too, and
Yeah.
their memories we'll always have, Imelda. And look, we're here to
Oh,
talk.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, here to talk. Look, you're an analyst with Tommy, and you've been to the two games this year, Galway and Clare and Galway and Tip.
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell us a little bit about what the form is like and how they're going so far in the league, Imelda? Just your own
Your own
opinion.
opinion, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they played Clare obviously first, the
Mhm.
opening game, round one. That was played in Clare, in Ennis. And in fairness, Galway looked really good. I have to say, there was new players on the scene. The older players that was there just all seemed to connect. The vision, the passing, the work rate, everything looked really, really well. Then we met Tipperary last weekend, and unfortunately, we didn't have as good a performance. Now, Tipperary were obviously better than Clare as well. Very
Yes,
Yeah.
physical,
absolutely.
really
Yeah.
physical. Waterford had beaten them by a point, I think, in their opening game, and I think
Yeah,
that
that's
didn't go
right.
down well with Tipperary either.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
twice
No.
now.
came, yeah, they came for a win, in fairness to them. We played them obviously in the Rag, their home ground as well, which I don't think suited Galway. It was quite tight. Not the nice big pitches I think that the girls like to play in.
Yeah.
We're used to, yeah.
And from word go, yeah, like Aoife Donohoe flicked over a lovely pint to start, and it looked like was going to be a repeat of the previous weekend, because she did the same against Clare. She got the opening score as well. But Tipperary just came with a force. And in fairness, Emer McGrath, their number
I know.
14,
I heard
was
about her.
absolutely
From an
outstanding.
inch club. She was
Oh,
brilliant.
she was, Martina, do you know what? She reminded me so much of Sharon Glynn.
Super.
She had the power, she had the vision, she was always in the right place at the right time. And I know from seeing one of her interviews afterwards,
Mhm.
she complimented her teammates. She said that, that they did the hard work and she finished, but she did the hard work as well. She was
Yeah.
That's
everywhere, in
nice to
fairness
hear.
to her.
Yes.
And not to take anything away from her, but these days when the ball just hops into your
Props.
hand,
Yeah.
her third goal, she was actually running. I say she didn't even know if she was going to get it, and the ball actually hopped the goal side of her. So,
Roger.
and the goalie back obviously was at the other side, and all
Of
she had to do
course.
was just
Bit of
turn
luck.
right. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like in fairness, Fiona Ryan had no hope and goals with her. Like she was just, yeah, she had power, as I said, she had vision, and she just had luck. Whereas I think on the Galway side, we didn't have luck. We let it fall out of our hand.
Yeah.
We couldn't pick it. It was the grass was a bit long as well, and I think our girls were trying to roll lift it, and
Okay.
there
Oh,
was
yeah.
just rush after rush, if you like. But we got no break either. And
Okay.
they did try. It's not that they didn't try. They were tending to drop their heads near the end, and then they got the goal that seemed to be forever coming.
Coming,
Yeah.
that's right.
And once
Just too late. Yeah.
too late, yeah, too late. Like Siobhan Garner, sold it down from centre back. But look at, when they
But
did
that's
get
why
the goal, you seen a glimpse then of the team that we're used
hope.
to seeing.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
heads are up,
exactly.
the buzz was there again. So.
And do you think, Imelda, is it because the team was changed up slightly, or is there a bit of a transition happening?
There is, Aoife, of course there is. There's new players coming on there. We have, I think there's 6.
And you have to do that. Yeah.
You have to, yeah. I think with 6 we say what we call new starters there against Clare. And we had, Niamh Nyland actually was very impressive against Clare, and with scoring 4 points from really difficult angles. Now, in fairness to her, she got a lovely point as well against Tipperary from the sideline again. So she's very impressive looking. You've Niamh McPeak just outside, or Niamh Nyland's lining out there and quarter forward. You'd Niamh McPeak just outside and wing forward. Very good as well. She's from Lee Mellows. She's a girl that likes to come forward as well and supply ball in. She's well able to take her own score as well. She got a point as well against Clare. So, that's good to see that coming in the forwards.
It's confidence.
And then confidence, yeah. Now, Ava Crowe is coming in there from Carnmore. She's in there at number 4. Very impressed with her now. She's played well in the last 2 games, worked very hard against Tip when she was really up against it now, as I said, because the Tip forwards put a lot of pressure on our backs. And, she came out of ball after ball, and she got fouled and she won frees. But she's definitely make her mark. And outside her, you have Ciara Hickey as well. And great drive as well when she gets the ball. But again, all these girls they're just settling in now. Ali Heshnan from Shamrocks. She's fine, tall girl midfield. She got it so tough on Tipperary. She had a lot of hard knocks, a lot of hard rattles. In fairness to her. Yeah, she just picked herself up and just got on with it. So they're really settling in. And then Katie Mangan, actually from her own club in Mullya, she started against Clare. Now she's very strong player, very tough player. So she gave way then, I suppose, for Dervla Higgins was coming back on. But Katie Mangan did come back on. She was put back on as a substitute against Tipperary near the end of the match as well. So I think that's why you've about 6 new starters there as the team. So of course it's great. We need it because we've lost key players. Like I was just thinking back, if you remember, that's our full back line of Shauna Healy, Sarah Dervin and Heather Cooney. They were the best full back line.
Absolutely. And they were formidable for years, and they're no more there at the moment.
Yeah. It just changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're trying to replace the likes of those lines. Roisin Black in there now, our captain at number 3 is doing a fantastic year last year, playing very well this year. Another girl that got a lot of rattles on Saturday from Tipperary, trying real hard. Dervla Higgins, of course, slotting in there as well. But this is what's happening. We're building. We've lost our number 6.
It's the league, I suppose,
so Siobhan Garner's now filling in. And it's the league, and that's what, that's what you do for the league, isn't it? You try out players.
It's your tryout, and it's an opportunity,
Well, if Siobhan Garner scoring goals against Tipperary, we might shove her up the forwards.
For Ardrahan, you might, because you need them.
And I tell you, she's a girl that's brilliant to mark. To me, I don't know, would I play her number 6? Because I'd be kind of thinking I'd like to keep her to do the mark, and if there was some player causing hassle, I'd be inclined to say, Siobhan, you just stick with her.
You marker,
like a little bit like Katrina Cormacan used to do in the past as well.
That's right, she'd be one of those.
And you need those players.
Oh, you need them, exactly.
But you have, you have Carrie Dolan, you have Ailish Riley, you have Orla McGrath, Siobhan McGrath, you have Aoife Donoghue obviously playing very well there as well. So you have these girls as well, up in attack that will obviously, while it's not always going to happen for them. And I think the ball probably coming into the forwards wasn't the best last either. But I think a lot of it was that because Tipperary put such pressure on us. Tipperary forwards and midfield were constantly.
But last year
they were, of course. And look, you know what? They had nothing to lose either.
No, they've nothing to lose because they got Galway got beaten by Tip in the first round of the league last year, and they ended up winning. Sometimes the first games you're only first and second games you're only 52 of it.
And I think actually, Aoife, now that you mention it, I think they scored 4 goals against us last year in the opening game, and it was a poor performance from Galway, and they scored 3 goals this year. So it's just, I suppose, the goals as well. Like there was only 2 points in it near the end of the game again after all how well they look. So I definitely wouldn't be reading too much into it from a Galway point.
God, no.
Yeah, especially once they rallied around, because to me, for me, they finished well. So
which is good.
Exactly,
The
and
strong
you,
finish.
you mentioned there you use the league. The league is like a training
You use
ground
the league,
for Cahill and his management to see what he has, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
You have to use your players.
well,
Like,
they're thinking of the bigger picture. They're thinking the championship come June, their best 15, and this is an opportunity to see everyone and see what they're capable of, and a better way to try it out than in the leagues.
yeah, and the intermediates.
And in fairness to Cahill and his team, they did. Sorry, in fairness to Cahill and his management team, they have used their bench.
Yeah.
Even the last day there near the end, like there was girls, and the same with Claire. There was girls
Yes.
just flying
That's
on
good,
there.
though.
Key players coming off. It just he's not he's just taking players off and putting players on, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, well,
That's
he
100%
wants.
that's what it's about.
I suppose he
Game
wants
time.
to settle. Yeah, and he wants to settle 15. He has his 6 or 7 there that maybe are the scaffolding, and he needs to build around those girls. So he has to see. So, maybe that their aim this year is in the league is just to see what he has and be ready for championship.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing wrong with that either. But still, they're not doing too bad. That's the main thing.
You keep it fresh, though, by bringing in new girls.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come here to me. How do you think, Imelda, before we let we go, and I know you're busy, how do you think the game has evolved maybe in terms of promotion over the years? Like if you go back to the glory days, as I call them, we're always talking about the glory days of the 90s. The people do tell me, will you get off the glory days?
We'll do a podcast on our own for the glory days.
But we say since our win in 96, Imelda, how has the game, or have you seen the game evolve maybe in terms of promotion?
Yeah,
it would have. In fairness, there would be a lot more promotion of the game, and it's obviously a lot more. We didn't have social media either,
Exactly.
I suppose.
Thank God.
In our day
that's
as
the
well.
big thank God. We'll be all jailed.
Thank God. Yeah, exactly. And in fairness, that's probably a lot of it. It's through social media where a lot of it is. Even the TV coverage as well. I think, what was ours? The All-Ireland final? That was it.
That was it.
That was the only game. Yeah, that was it. Like, so, if you didn't get an All-Ireland
semi-final too, Imelda, like, there was no...
until
the later years.
This is the other thing. So we didn't have the games. Ours was knockout Aoife as well. So, you had one game, I think, was it? And then it was knockout, like it was it was do or die, and we always used to get the do or die, Kilkenny or Cork.
Yeah. So
social media, whereas now the round robin.
Yeah.
That helps, yeah.
Yeah, the round robin now, everybody's playing everybody, isn't it? Kind of this whole round robin. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing either, because I think was it last year we played Cork 3 times or something.
That's right. Yeah. That can be mentally draining as well.
I think they just know each other too well, and there's all these game plans going on, and
tactics.
I think it might be. Yeah, and I think that hunger, it takes away from the hunger a little bit as well. I think because you're playing all these games, and sometimes it's nice to have this couple of weeks to have this big build up maybe for a match. So it's hard to know.
It's hard to know, and
it's hard to know which is.
Yeah, was there a fair crowd at it, or do you think?
There was a great crowd in the Clare game, down in Ennis, but against Tipperary, then the crowd wasn't as big.
Okay.
I felt, but then there's so much on. I was just thinking,
so much on.
We didn't get to games ourselves this weekend.
Imelda, there's still so much on. Yeah,
you were at the schools, and I was doing the courses. The introduction to coaching and Gaelic games, which probably brings us on to for our last question, Imelda, because I know you're in a rush. But coaches and managers of club teams at the minute, they're crying out. I never seen as many wanted signs for managers and coaches for camogies at the minute. And where has it all gone wrong for all of us? We'll say, do you think it's just we haven't got the people, but yet they're in the clubs? And even the courses that myself and Harkin are doing there with the introduction to coaching and Gaelic games, like, they're plugged. All the courses are plugged, but yet we don't see them. Then they're afraid, I think, to coach their own clubs because they're probably a bit abused.
I think it's time, Aoife, as well.
Yeah, it is time. It's huge.
Yeah, it is, I suppose. I don't know, like, it's just, people seem to be just all so busy. And there's, we all seem to be running around, don't we, as well?
Yeah,
I think a lot of them chasing our tail, and then, like, I suppose as well, you know, a lot of these people, you know, they give up their time. There's no real expenses as such
Yeah.
in
Yeah, there's
clubs
nothing
because
out of it,
clubs
yeah.
can't afford it. The money isn't
Mhm.
there. Let's be, you know,
Mhm.
let's be
But it's
practical.
amazing, Imelda, how the
So
money becomes available if you're looking
If you're
outside
outside,
the club. You know,
yeah.
we were talking about that.
yeah,
It's amazing how
yeah,
they can find it. And again, that's not a conversation that we're going down, but I'm just saying, I think it's important if there's a few in your club, look after those. And, you know, they're
those,
probably
yeah,
as good as anyone else outside the club, not
as
taken from
anyone else,
anyone
yeah.
outside
But I
clubs. We
think what
just find
happens,
it.
I think what happens in clubs is they might feel that, oh geez, why wouldn't you think they do it for nothing for their own club?
Yeah.
But like, it's, as you said, Imelda, the
But
biggest thing is
and in
time.
fairness, yeah, I think it is because in fairness, I think people within, especially in the club situation, you know, they're not looking for payment to do it. I think
No,
it's time. Like
it's
it's a
Time.
time.
huge commitment. Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's
Yeah,
think about
massive.
it, it's a huge commitment. Like again, you're
Yeah.
talking about 2 or 3 nights during the week, probably 3
And a
nights when
weekend.
you know,
and it's
coming
at
up to
least
big
2 hours.
games. And then you have a weekend, you're 2
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know. If you're, you know, if you are the manager or whatever, the trainer, you're there
Mhm.
even more because you're there
stepping it
putting
up.
out the ballers and getting things ready,
Yeah.
and you're there afterwards. And you know, there's probably some
An
people that
extra
might want
hour
to
on
talk to you
top of the
afterwards.
training
And
as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah, so I think
But
it's you know, I think that's really what it is. It's a lot of time, you know,
yeah,
but it is a pity, you know, it's a pity not to keep it going because
Yeah,
if the clubs aren't strong, well then you see, you know, your county team won't be strong,
exactly.
obviously.
It's a knock-on.
So
It's a domino effect.
it's a
It
hand
comes
down.
it
from
is, yeah,
your
yeah,
clubs, even your
yeah.
Schools.
schools, and into your
Mm.
county, and
And
that's your
then
development.
clubs are losing players. Like
They are,
I
and
even think of
Where?
our team in '91, like our club team in '91, like
Mhm.
God, I don't think any of us really went anywhere. You,
Yeah,
we
Yeah,
all
right.
stayed working
yeah,
locally, or you know,
yes.
there was no one going to Australia for a
Times
year
were different
or
too, Imelda,
for
weren't
two
they?
years. It's isn't it? We're now, and
The crack was in
they're
Tony's Tavern, you
100%
see.
right. Crack was in Tony Severy wouldn't leave it if
Tony
that was
Ward and
it.
all the
But
crew.
it
Yeah,
wasn't it wasn't a thing that was there at the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Whereas now obviously the young people are going away. And sure, look, they're 100% right
do you
to an
know they're
They're
extent, you know
right?
what I
playing,
mean?
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. They're
Yeah,
spreading their
see
they're
the
doing
wings.
grand.
world.
But
Yeah,
and I mean they're coming back and they're joining back into their clubs as well. It's
Yeah,
not that, but you see, I suppose if you lose we're, we don't have as many players either in camogie because not everybody plays camogie. Like in
exactly.
our club, when I was playing, we probably all did. But now
Yeah.
actually look at
So
this
many.
football, there's
Soccer,
yeah.
soccer,
basketball,
there's
volleyball.
there's
Gymnastics,
rugby,
Yeah,
there's
horse
so many
riding.
other things now as well.
yeah. And
And
it's
the
great, but
yeah, and it's great, but people are like, you don't have like people are finding it hard,
yeah,
I think as well. Our club find it. And of course, you know, then I suppose Sarsfield at the moment are so strong and other
yes.
Yeah,
clubs are getting it hard. There is like, you know, there is a gap between Sarsfield at the minute and the rest of the
Oh, there
clubs
is at the
probably.
minute, yeah. Yeah,
And I mean,
yeah,
there is.
that's
yeah.
going to change as well because the Sarsfield team, they'll tell you themselves, it's not going to last forever.
No,
You
no,
know, I mean,
nothing ever lasts
they've
forever.
had an
Exactly, yeah.
amazing trip and they've been super in fairness.
Oh,
And I've
fantastic.
obviously seen them so much of them down over the past few years. But at the moment they're so strong. And I suppose you see players then are probably maybe losing heart a bit as well and going.
Well, the
And then
momentum isn't there because they're
the
used to
momentum there.
probably not winning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even the
yeah.
Yeah.
girls, I would say, Imelda, on the sideline of Sarsfield's, like
Hmm.
they're winning and they're doing absolutely unbelievable and make hay while the sun shines, as they say. But we'd say girls now that can't get into the team are probably really, really good players. And I suppose why
Oh
would you
yeah.
be changing a winning
Yeah.
team? But sometimes that can have an effect as well for girls giving up. Do you know when you might be just get sick sitting on the bench? Do you know?
Mm.
And why would you change the team when they're winning? You know, as well.
Well, you see,
Hard to break
Aoife, I
into it.
think if you're sitting on a bench of a winning team, you
A
won't.
winning team,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
You
yeah,
won't
there's a
because
mind.
these girls,
difference.
like yeah, there's a difference. Oh,
They've had great
100%. And
days.
you can see the commitment they have and, um, you know, the way they play together and everything. So they've come up the ranks together. They're so strong
Yeah.
at the minute, like in fairness to them. And
Exactly.
they're
Your
so
sister and
young.
friends.
Sisters and friends.
They're a very
Yeah,
young team. Sisters
Yeah.
and
very
friends,
young
yeah.
team.
Yeah.
And and
They're a young
speaking,
team,
yeah,
you know. And it's
and
just like
speaking.
it's hard. Like you can see like you see certain clubs coming up along, and you kind of say, well, you know what? Look at those now next year. They'll be strong next year, and then they lose a few players,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
it's all
Yeah.
over.
And
and that's
unfortunately,
it.
there's absolutely nothing you can do. And
Yeah.
back to Sarsfields, just before I forget, just to congratulate the 5 players that made the AIB club team of the year. I thought it was a great achievement for them,
AIB,
considering that they didn't win the All-Ireland, but to have 5 of those players on the All-Ireland AIB, the team of the year.
Huge achievement,
huge achievement.
Well done to them.
And a
Huge
shout out to them.
achievement.
Imelda, we could
Was
talk
that
to you
there in
about-
our time, Harky?
Do you know what? That was never. I said, Imelda, I was talking once upon a time, and Aoife would disagree with me. If there was if there was all stars back in our days, Imelda, I'd say you and I would have had 11 of them at least. There would no one else to get a look in.
Would you like to be one? No,
It's a good job Sharon Glynn isn't on this call. Harky.
Oh, don't worry, she'll be on it next week.
Next week.
We're getting her next week, so don't worry, I tell her to her face. But yeah, such a pity.
She'll have an answer for you.
Oh, don't worry, she will. But you know, congratulations to Sharon as well in with the under-16s. But Imelda, look, we talked to you all night. You're very easy to talk to. You're soft on the ear. We appreciate all that you do with Galway Camogie, especially now that you're with Tommy and that you're at the games. And I enjoyed absolutely, because I was in Abbey Leaks last week coming home from the schools final, and it was great to be able to tune in and get the last 5 minutes of that game where Galway the momentum was with them. So we enjoy listening to you. Keep it up and keep doing what you're doing. And thanks for everything. And you never know, we might get you on again before the end of the year.
For sure. Thanks a million.
Yeah, absolutely, ladies. No problem. Yeah.
Imelda, thanks a million. Take care. Mind yourself.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
It's reeling in the years again every week.
Reeling in the years, she's fantastic, Imelda, and she's just wonderful for the game. And
Steph and Tommy, like you said,
it's nice to have past players in it. And again, just fitting that she was a past pupil of Ray Fields, and she's won her All-Ireland and everything, and she's noticed the difference between the promotion of camogie, that social media is the big thing.
But that is, think about it, that is the big thing. Would you believe I went to Rayfields for the last 2 years?
Yes.
So a shout out to all the Rayfields. I know I do be slagging you, but
and
I do have
people to know
it's England, my friends that I haven't seen in 100 years, but I met her last week at the hairdresser. So.
And just in case you know, it's not a Rayfields podcast. It just so
sometimes,
in the last couple of weeks. But look, we're always talking about other clubs.
But it's nice to promote your own school, and we had a great week in school ourselves.
And I've been watching, I've been following you on
the
Facebook
Wellness Week.
With the Wellness Week. Fantastic. You're doing massive work up there for yourself and the students.
No, but it's not just like fitness and stuff. We did a load, like we did a bit with jigsaw, mental health and stuff like that. And I know that it's a taboo that some people don't like talking about it, but we did a lot of different things, and we had a Wellington throwing competition, shot puts. We just had great fun.
Isn't that what it's all about? Fun and enjoyment.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we brought the rower in, the skier, and the bike into the staff room, and I'm not joking. There was a lot of panting and puffing. Pat Knoll, Dervin, and him and me.
Was the defibrillator close?
Oh, it was very close by. Very close by.
We actually did one of them a few years ago.
That's just good crack.
And I just think it's the collaboration of staff and students
coming
together.
We had great fun, so we did. And
shout out to all in Gorta.
I know, definitely, and to all the students as well. We had, in fairness, we had a lot of support from Lidl, and you know the way the ads are on lately. But I have to say, every time we go down to Lidl, I think they're covering their eyes now at this stage because they know me coming.
You want something.
They do. But like, sponsored all the fruit, for the Wow Wednesday, we call it Walk on Wednesday, and we had a piece of fruit for every single person in school, students wonderful? And staff, and that's like over 1,000.
Oh yeah.
And for our Jamesy Lee run, Jamesy was a great friend of mine. He was the manager of the community centre there for years, and he passed away a few years ago. But we do a marathon run with our first and second years, and it's the fastest combined time of what class? 168 laps, but a shout out to 1F. They won it in 11 minutes and 8 seconds. So good on you.
Fantastic.
So all these things bring kids along
together.
It's not just all about camogie and hurling. Like, there's loads of different ways to get people to stay involved in sport and do it. Have fun. We always say it in the courses. Top of the list. It has to be fun, and that's what we did this week.
Fun and enjoyment. Yeah. And speaking of sponsorship, just like to thank the county board, myself and Aoife, involved with Connacht colleges, and any teams that have ever got to All Ireland's, the county board have been very generous insofar as well. Contribution or donation money towards the costs of whatever it is.
Buses sure is huge. Yeah.
So shout out to Audrey there as treasurer for making that happen. Thanks a million.
So I don't know if you've seen. I remember we were talking about this positive period movement. Now, any men that are going to be uncomfortable listening to this, go make a cup of tea for yourself. Actually, no, don't. Stand and listen. So basically, Martina Dolan in Lee Mellows set this kind of initiative up that they have like period products available to girls, in sport, because 1 in 5 give up sport.
Yeah. And part of the reason,
is because of their period.
Yeah.
But basically, it's 5 clubs have come together and they've put up like stations on the toilet walls, the dispensers
in the clubhouses.
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah. And they have a little bag each. Each coach has a little bag with some period products in it. Brilliant. So if the girl is ever stuck or ever gets caught during a match or before a match, you know the way sometimes you might just get caught. Will you share the story for the crack?
There's no story being shared. No story being shared.
Oh no, Harky, it would be internet sensation, but she won't say it, and I can't say what she did.
No, Aoife. I did nothing. Just so
no, you didn't do anything. But I just think it's a great initiative, and obviously me and you were working in the background there trying to get a sponsor at the moment who we have, but I don't want to mention their names at the minute until we have signed, sealed and delivered. But I just think it's a great idea for clubs to have a little bag with period products in it, so that they know to come to just like a first aid bag. Absolutely. You go and get a plaster, you go and get a tampon or whatever.
To make it the norm that this is normal. And I think, even a couple of years ago, do you remember they were trying to change the colour of the skirts?
Yeah.
To make sure that obviously it would avoid any embarrassment when it came to
sports. Things like that. Look, we're a long time playing. I'm still at it, and I probably got caught out maybe twice or 3 times.
Look, we all got.
And it does affect your game, because I remember, like in Ardrahan, obviously we have the white scarves.
Yeah.
We don't now, they changed to navy last year. But like you're just saying, is my skirt okay? Is my skirt okay? And it does affect you. So Absolutely. It does. But if we had these little bags, and for each coach, we'll talk more about it definitely next week. I don't want to go into it too much.
If you think about it before we finish out, if you think of all the clubs in County Galway, and you think of the dressing rooms, there is actually no disposal units to get rid of, apart from a bin, which is extremely unhygienic.
Yeah.
So as a result, it's causing clubs a little bit of hassle when sanitary towels have to be flushed down the toilet.
I know,
because as a result it will clog, and that's just normal. It's like a child throwing a roll of toilet paper down the toilet, and it gets clogged, and it's probably a nightmare for club caretakers. And I just think, why not have disposal units like what we have in schools for girls and for women, and to have those dispensary units up in your dressing room.
I suppose there is a cost in it, but
there is a cost.
There's women are like forever and ever. Amen. We're going to be having our periods. Do you know what I mean? And any girls involved. Yeah. But these little bags, they're called Fab Little Bags. If anybody wanted to look it up, but we're definitely going to come back to it. But just that it is. Like, we should be open about this and talk. And I know in our school there is period products available in all of the toilets.
Yeah, same as.
Obviously not the men's toilets, but
but the
for
only
the girls.
thing with period products, I don't know about you, Aoife, is there a cost involved? Do they have to place money into it?
Would you believe that Lidl have on the app give out free period products, but the school subsidises it.
Yeah,
and
just
Ashley Collins, actually a teacher in our school, she's brilliant for doing stuff like that, and she organises all that. So
because it can become embarrassing sometimes.
Something small to talk about, but definitely you could say you could be talking about this for days and weeks.
Well, you could, and I just think it's important for girls in schools or anywhere that they have the access to these facilities, and even if it costs €2. For the girls that don't have €2 on, we have staff in school that they just
that's great.
Yeah.
And so when we probably by next week we'll know if we have this sponsor, and what we're hoping to do is to get a Fab Little Bag, we call it, out to every school, Connacht schools to start with, because we're involved with the Connacht schools, and just see how it goes. And it'll be just like attached to any other bag, like the gear bag, the first aid bag, really. So
and it becomes the norm.
And
girls will know that if they are having their period and they forget or whatever, that it's there, and it's no reason to be embarrassed or whatever. And girls aren't anymore.
And look, there wouldn't be a massive cost with it. Just it's like, filling up a first aid bag. It doesn't happen every day. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't happen, and it's just people forget. I'm sure, isn't that life?
Yeah, that's exactly. So, I don't know, Harky, obviously we had taken a break for a week or so, and to wish Roisin Black
Absolutely.
that she's captain now of the Galway senior team. I don't think we got a chance
No,
to
we
mention
didn't
that.
get an opportunity. So to congrats to Roisin, and I know
Huge
she's
opportunity
a
for
busy
her own
woman
more
as
club.
well,
Yeah.
and hopefully in a couple of weeks' time we'll get Roisin on, maybe near the end of the league, and also to congratulate Kerry Dolan
and
Siobhan
McGrath
on their vice captaincy. And again, wonderful role models, no doubt.
Yeah.
And we had Siobhan. We were privileged to have Siobhan on at the start.
She's running around scaffolding. You were talking about
scaffolding
earlier.
We were talking about scaffolding. So we'll get Carrie and Roisin on, but at this moment in time, I suppose the girls are busy between gym programs and work and college and things like that. Yeah.
And the intermediates are out this weekend as well in the RAG at 2:00 on Saturday. And the minors are out this weekend.
Stephen Glennon and his management, and I heard him this evening actually talking on Galway Bay to wish Stephen and his management team the best of luck in Ballygunner.
And Emily Brogan from Carnmore, well done to her. She's the captain, and Caoife Kelly from Sarsfield's, other great players. So the best of luck to Stephen and his management team this weekend, taking on Waterford in Ballygunner at 2:00.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of it for this week. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, the schools are finished this weekend with the Junior All-Irelands.
Who's in it there, just in case I can't remember?
Junior A, it's surprising that Loretta weren't in it this year.
So no, I'm more interested in the Junior B.
Best wishes to St. Rayfield's College. Aoife, you're really going to town on it.
No, I'm only joking.
No, you're not.
I'm only having the crack.
St. Rayfield's are taking on the FC in Gorey. So best wishes to the girls in Rathdowney at 1:00, and to Katie Murray, their captain.
And there's a great there's a lot of them girls now that please God will have 2 All-Irelands in 2 weeks.
God, and I can't leave without a big shout out to the Senior A hurlers. St. Rayfield's College Senior A hurlers are playing the All-Ireland semi-final against Nina CBS in Tulla and Clare at 2:00 on Saturday.
Well, wouldn't that be something else?
To Mr. Roland Hardiman and Mr. Francis Ford and all the boys there, I want to wish you the best of luck from all here in the Maroon and White Pod.
Coming from Ardrahan,
where
the lighting is better.
The lighting is better.
And the last thing I would say as well, I know it's nothing at all to do with camogie, but sure, look at this is life. We went to Natus, I think they pronounced it. I'm useless with the name. Up in Gart, a manufacturing
company. The sign has the kind of this satellite sign at the top of it.
We brought in all the TYs, and it's across from Gibblin's Trophies actually in Gart. And just a big shout out to all of the staff there. They were absolutely brilliant. Showed us around. We were all gowned up and everything, but they were absolutely brilliant. And I'd love to say hello to them tonight.
There you go. So an opportunity. So make sure all the employees and staff and Natus subscribe, okay?
Oh yeah, I should.
But listen, thanks a million everyone who has joined us tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed the pod, all things camogie. Thanks to Imelda Hobbins for joining us, and thanks to my friend. It's been a pleasure as usual. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button on the Maroon and White Pod.
Yep.
It's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.